Previously on Team Olympus.
Daniel, I need help. I can't do this by myself.
Yeah, use all the excuses.
Maybe.
Yeah, so Joe's not happy. Oh my word.
This is my mad face.
Ugh.
Nothing's working. Welcome back. What are you doing back here? What is all this crap?
This is not crap. This is 60-some-year-old Scout stuff. No, this is all off the engine and a few other random things that you never know.
Ooh, is that an exhaust pipe?
No, that is a shifter for an automatic transmission. Oh, that is exhaust pipe.
You know who would love this? Is Preston. He loves exhaust. That is heavy.
That is very specific
I don't think that's going to work.
to this engine.
What the heck? Can you see that again? Huh? Look at the end of it. This has obviously been outside.
That was dug down into the...
What the heck? Where was that?
That was in the barn.
Oh, is that in storage outside?
Yeah, this was in storage in the barn.
Oh, I was like, that's full of dirt.
So on our previous video, we were designing a transmission mount and we ran into some problems with pinion angle and the engine rake, and the accessories on the engine were something I hadn't gotten to yet. So before we make that transmission mount, I need to get some things lined up on this engine and check clearances on this frame.
So, let's go bolt it up. And there's that glorious International 304. So yeah, let's get some accessories bolted on the front of this. We need to check clearances for the starter. Let's do this.
I got the accessories laid out. I've already done some checks, and I'll show you here real quick what I did for all the angles we were having issues with last night. All right, as you can see here, the rake on the engine, I was trying to keep it around 6 to 7. This is actually coming in at about 8 degrees rake, and I've zeroed it off of the frame, which is relatively level with the ground. Okay, our other concern was the pinion angle. So what I did on this rough guess right here, about 20, 24, 25. 15 is really the ideal that we were going for. This isn't really going to be a daily driver. So with a little bit extra pinion angle, I'm hoping we don't get vibration, but if we do, maybe we'll go double cardon. Who knows? But it's a lot closer than it was last night when it was about a 40-degree angle. I did want to make one correction too. Last night, or on the last video, I'm sorry, I incorrectly identified the transmission mount. I told you it was from an XJ. This one here. Everything okay?
Yeah.
This one here is the one that I bought for an XJ. This one was about 15 bucks. I believe the one that I showed you guys in the last video is actually from a Chevy. Regardless, I didn't know what I needed, so I picked up a couple of cheap tranny mounts, and lo and behold, we're not using either one of them. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off, because we have a plan. So that's the mount that I'm not using, and I don't believe we're using that either. I'm gonna keep it though. Reason being, we've decided to actually put our support right across the top. We have plenty of clearance now that I've dropped this down to bring a tube right about through here. We may have to put a little bit of an arc in it. Once I get it cut relatively close to where we want it, we'll measure that again before we put a bend in it.
But there's enough room with this notch right here.
Yeah.
That we can fit that down in there.
And then what we're gonna do is we're still gonna use the rubber bushings. So we're gonna put a mounting plate over here to attach to the transfer case on this side. Since we have some unused bolt holes, it'll work perfect. And then over here, we're gonna put the other plate here. 1, maybe 2 bolts on this side.
That or go down to the factory one down there. We haven't
or possibly
decided
go
yet.
all the way down. But either way, that's the plan, is to go across the top, then instead of across the bottom.
The mounts right here, probably an inch or two anyways. So even if this sat on top of the frame, it still clears the body.
So when I was under here the other day before we pulled the body back, I could basically lay my head right here. That's how much clearance I have.
But you have a tiny head.
Frame. Thank you. All right, so on these accessories, a couple things I was looking at. Obviously, we don't have any clearance on the frame here, But man, that alternator sticks way out. Good thing we're doing custom fenders. So this here shouldn't be any kind of problem, but look where the shocks are, right below that. The same with our power steering pump over here. Doesn't stick out quite as far as the alternator, but let me grab it here real quick. I'm missing the other half of the bracket. It's in one of my boxes since it's been in storage for a while. But that sits in there like so. And you can see, I'm not worried about clearance on the frame. It's definitely well above the shocks, but it does stick outside that frame. Again, custom fenders will help with that. And lastly, I checked the starter. It is close. Look at that. You can see there is a little bit of air in there. But before I lifted it up that last degree, it was actually touching the frame. So that was the determining factor on where to set it. And then I also came down here, but there's that there. Hopefully we don't have any binding. But that's the measurements that I checked. Both Daniel and I agree this is our best option. So we're gonna press on. Daniel, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm working on the carrier bearing mount for the Ultra 4.
For the race car?
Yeah.
I thought we don't do race car on Friday.
You're working on that. I gotta be productive.
Very true. What are you doing? Show me.
I'm getting a long Allen head.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I got
carrier
these on
bearing.
Amazon for $10.
What is it? What is it?
Or, it's a set of Allen heads with a lifetime warranty.
That is nice.
Yeah, they're seriously $10 on Amazon.
Cool.
I'll post a link in the description below if you want these.
Yeah, I think they'd like that. That's a.
Well, for $10, I was
I
like,
know.
holy
I
crap.
think I need to get me a set. As often as I lose those things. And why do we need those long ones?
Well, what we're working on is, because of the way this is all set up, we use a two-piece drive shaft, which means it bends in the middle, essentially. This is the pivot point. So we have a mid shaft, and then back here, because of the whole body and just everything, we have the secondary shaft. This is the main shaft. So this is a carrier bearing here, and I'm working on making a mount for it. Right now I cut a piece of steel out, bolted it to this, and then now I'm working on where that's going to hit, and we're getting the angles right. And then right here I got to bend this down just because the way it sits, the angle it comes off the T-case. And so we got to bend that down, and that'll weld here, and then we have a side plate that'll mount here. We got to bring something in for that. But this I'm just working on because the way we design these plates, you can actually go right through
Oh, look at that.
the, I think I got the wrong size.
Right through the skid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong size.
Very nice.
That's for a 1/2 inch. I don't know what size I need now.
Look at that. That is a long shaft. Holy cow.
Not really, as far as drive shafts go. That's,
Oh yeah, but we're at full droop right now, so it's fully extended. Yeah. So it
which,
doesn't get much
the
more.
crazy thing, a lot of people were freaking out about, oh, you're going to throw out your drive shaft, this and that. So we're not. We're, just to show you, everything's 1480 here, which means these monster, this is like, this is the biggest you're going to find in Ultra 4. I don't know anybody running bigger than 1480. And if you do, that's cool, but so this, even at full droop, you know, there's no bind whatsoever. I have an inch in here that I can, at the worst case, I can stick my finger an inch through that.
Come in there real closer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Because the way we set this up, I worked with Bill over at Bill's Englewood Drive Shaft, and we found the right pieces, and it all works really well. And we're pulling, this is full droop right here, so we'll actually strap it so it sits up. It'll probably stop at about an inch above this actually, but as far as this, there's no bind whatsoever. That's really smooth as butter. So I'm not worried about that at all, especially with the fact that we're going to strap it an inch short. I don't remember how much travel we're pulling in the rear. A lot.
A lot.
It's not a lot as far as trophy trucks or even some Ultra 4s go, but we're on 25, I think, 25 inches of rear travel. So that means this moves up and down 25 inches, which
Cool.
2 feet,
And you know what? It
1
moves
inch.
right up and down underneath. Look at that. Dual superchargers. Torque
Oh.
Storm superchargers. Look
I
at
just,
that.
I gotta make a little extra here. So, Preston, love you, buddy, but in the Garage Idiots, everybody that's here from Garage Idiots and follows Preston over there, he was talking about he wanted to do an 8-to-1 exhaust. So he did that in his last video. This is an 8-to-1. So literally it comes up and merges into one collector. All 8 cylinders are interchanging out to one collector. This is a big 8-to-1 merge collector. So this will produce the sound that Preston was talking about. So
You hear that, Preston?
soon.
This is what you need, Preston, right there.
This is what you need, buddy.
And dual torque storm superchargers.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Lots
that
of
thing's
boost.
gonna be nasty.
Meth injection, all that. We haven't been doing much updates on this because we've been working on other stuff, but we got a bunch of stuff done. Finished the coolant reservoir here. Super happy with our Vulcan TIG welder. I'm actually welding aluminum these days, so that's awesome. We got that made. That'll be over here. Our exhaust. We're actually working on this still right now. Not 100% sure, but it comes out this way. I'm actually probably going to bring it further out the back from where it's dumping to come a little further and drop out this panel. Because when the sway bar is articulating, this is a little close for the exhaust. And so if we drop it a little further out back here, it's not going to be hitting it as much, and it comes right out the back of the car. So
Cool.
yeah, so I'm just tinkering a little bit while Joe's doing a couple things. So I'm going to get back to the carrier bearing, and I'll let Joe, I don't know what Joe's doing.
I started working on our cross member, and like we showed you before, we want it to go basically right through here. The other cool thing, man, he's loud.
Sorry.
The other cool thing, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. We actually have a couple of these push-pull cables left over from our race car build that we're not using. So we're gonna fabricate a little handle, something or other down here, and these are actually gonna mount to a tab right on the bottom of this tube right here, and kind of loop back like that. I'm sorry, like that. Since I don't want to cut a hole in the floor for handles, so we're going to use the existing hole in the body because the transfer case is now about a foot and a half further back than it is supposed to be. So anyway, that's where that is. But the cool thing is, we actually bent this 1-inch tube in our tubing bender. Didn't even know if it was going to work because we don't have the right size. But you know what? It does work. So I'm going to keep doing it. This will take a second. Bam! Look at that. Yes, I know it's a little long. I cut it a little bit long because I was using the edge of the frame here to guesstimate my angles, and it's pretty gosh darn close right there. Now I'm going to notch out the bushings here. I'm going to finish up my tabs, and we will get a chance to start tacking some stuff up and doing our final measurements.
When we cut stuff off the table, we always keep it if we don't use it anyways for stuff like this. But I found 4 that are all matching thickness and shape. They're a little big, so we've got to shorten them quite a bit. So we're just going to clean them, make sure they're all exactly the same. Ran a bolt through it with a nylock nut, so now these are held in place. So when you grind them, they'll all be exactly 100% the same. Isn't the frame on an angle right there?
It is, so the front ones need to be a little bit
So
shorter.
2 of them.
But I would cut all
We're
4 of them
trim.
down the same size, and then we'll just trim the 2 front
Yeah.
ones a little bit.
Okay.
It works! It works, and I got the bolts in here. I'm gonna kind of lock these down so that these tabs don't move. Now I'm gonna measure to make sure that the tube is centered on both sides. I can do that.
Within a 1/16 of an inch?
It's within a 1/16, yeah.
Okay.
So I like how that sits in there.
Okay, we are a couple steps closer to being done with this part. You want to show us what we got, Joe?
Yeah, we got the one that we the support that we said is going on the bottom. On the or sit on the passenger side like that. We got
So we got this plate here, bolts to the T case, and then this tube welds up to the cross member we made, and then welds to that.
something like that.
Something like that. And then this side,
It goes in there, something like that.
yep, that's all notched to fit. We're gonna go ahead and tap this up, and this mount, in theory, is done.
In theory.
It is really close to my face. Okay.
You ready?
Well, I was more concerned about my ear. It's the worst. That was a big tap.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright.
The welds in nice. Alright.
Time to pull the
That's
jack.
conventional, but I like it. It's different.
Yeah, it is different, and it looks good too.
Cool. So you ready to put weight on it?
Let's put some weight on it.
Alright. So like we showed you, we've got that tube going down there. And it'll be, we'll probably add a gusset here just for looks. Don't need it. Then that side, like I showed you, is going down to that plate. So, a little different. Yeah, I like it.
Should I remove the jack?
Just let her down.
There we go. Look at that!
It didn't fall out.
It did not fall out.
Now, you can see this now from the side. It's not bad. That's doable. That's doable. So,
Man, it's actually really close this way.
yeah. It's definitely better.
Oh yeah.
And now it's hanging. Look at that. Cool. I like this. It works. It works.
Yep. Ultimately, that is not touching the frame, so I'm happy.
What's not?
The starter is not touching the frame. And that was the absolute, we don't want this to happen. There you go. There's air. It's not much air, but there is air.
All right, so as you saw, I was working on the Ultra4 for a little bit, doing a couple things, and got the drive shaft carrier bearing bracket mocked up, but I'm not going to weld it until I get the axle centered and make sure that everything is good. So before we end the night, we're going to actually show you on the Ultra4 full droop to full compression. As we stated, it's about 25 inches of travel. So check this out. there you have it. That's full bump now. It was on the ground. Now that's where it is. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, we've got to, yeah, it's kind of sitting there. This has got to come over. We got to position this guy. It's not there. So we got to position that. We got to make sure the axle is centered left to right and square that up. And then we will tack on the carrier bearing. But overall, the pinion angle is good, top to bottom, no issues. The only thing that's fun with this car is clearances. Yeah, we've got, which this ain't bad. We've got probably about ½ inch there. Then we went with a bent link up here so we can get more triangulation with it to keep it centered. Under load stronger. But yeah. Overall, it's coming together. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay, so synopsis. We worked on stuff. We filmed it. You enjoyed it. And now here we are.
I skipped to ring the bell.
And if you did enjoy it, give us a big thumbs up and ring the bell. Joe loves the bell.
Oh, look at that. I got a black finger from my glove ripped.
Is it like a green thumb?
Yeah, I guess so. That's a mechanic's black thing. It's a hole in my glove. All right.
All right. Well, okay. So in the last video, the Bug Part 5, we announced the LS Fest poster winner. So I will make sure to reach out to you guys. I did see several comments from those of you who won. So I will reach out to you. But if not, email me. Yeah, so just a reminder, December 29th, that is a Sunday, around 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That is the time to which it is in Denver, Colorado, or Mountain Standard Time. We will be doing a live session, and if all goes well, Preston and Mina from Garage Idiots will be joining us, and we will be discussing the 2020, it's not really a race season. I'm so used to calling it a race season. We'll be talking about the year 2020 and what we are going to be doing as Team Olympus and Garage Idiots. And we want your feedback. We want your opinions. Make sure that you come join us so that we can know and get answers so we can know what you want. Because we're going to be asking a lot of stuff and we want that real-time feedback. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all our subscribers. I think when I post this, we might be at 3,000. We are like right there. So make sure you're sharing our videos. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video so that YouTube can continue to rank the videos and push them up. Because the bigger we grow, the more we do for you. Weird. What are you doing back there? Ah, the classic fingers.
Fist bump.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, we will see you in the next video. Fist bump for you. Fist bump for you.